Hello, hello, and welcome to the Potential Apes podcast, episode 3. You know us for the Gaming Twin Show, and of course, Pirate Radio pioneering. But today, we cover everything else with our past hopes and dreams, and of course, everything in between, from Y2K to the future. It's a pod about life. Take a glimpse behind the scenes at the people who make them. We cover all this and more in the Potential Apes podcast. Today, I'll be your host. It's your favorite host, me. To my right, we have our very own Crimson Patriot, Mike.
Hello.
And of course, to my left, my partner in time, Chuck of the Twins, Ditto.
Ooh, I like that a lot.
Guys, today we're making a podcast. And we've got quite the show for you. But first, a word from our sponsors. Big things are happening in the Azran community this month. Several new covers will be out on YouTube, including the recent release of Monkey Ball's Hello Banana. Plus, Ace Ad-Lib, a night of improv piano, returns on November 16th. All of this and more will now be managed through the new Ace Discord, which is fun, server, where the community can weigh in with feedback and song suggestions, receive customized notifications, and quickly access the past content. Alrighty, so this is a message to the community. I want to say... okay. So this is from Jesse Evil. To the community, I want to say, keep being amazing and lovely. All of you make the stream a pleasure to be in. I'm glad to hear it.
Aww.
I will be doing... Here, let me see. I will be doing a farewell for now stream on the 17th of November. Not sure what time. Having some last-minute fun in Dead by Daylight before being admitted into the hospital the next day for surgery on the 19th. As someone I know, am transgendered, and so for those... wondering what the surgery, I'll be having the surgery, SRS. So hence, I will be hopefully leaving for the hospital with an amazing stream for anyone that would like to swing by. That's pretty cool.
That's so exciting, Jesse. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah. Do want to thank those who have been so accepting and loving to me. I have loved every second of being a part of the community. Keep gaming, keep achieving your goals, and keep being amazing. We'll leave this on a good joke for everyone. What do you say when you lose a Nintendo game? I want a Wii match. Kappa.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate it.
Ooh. Oh.
Oh, and it looks like someone anonymously dropped this in here. The hammer has eyes and ears. Stop your punny messages. So... it looks like someone was in there to do Mandu's job today.
That's fascinating.
Or it was Mandu.
I mean, it could have been, but he remained anonymous, so we don't know. Could be an up-and-coming young mod ready to replace him.
Oh,
who knows?
Wow, okay. By the way, we are now going to be opening with the first topic, and this is going to be a topic from the community.
Ooh.
Okay, and interestingly enough, this one was submitted anonymously.
Ooh.
But I'll admit, fit well considering we didn't have it on the docket, and there could not be a better time for it. Essentially, Thanksgiving. Is Black Friday more important than Thanksgiving? ? Does Black Friday take over your Thanksgiving holiday? That's the question.
Who wants to start on this one?
I want to open.
Sure.
I want to open. Okay. Thanksgiving is an American holiday, okay? For those out of the country who don't know or whatever, it's...
Do you want me to give you the history lesson?
I'll give you the brief history lesson. Here goes.
I don't want your history lesson.
Here it is. Okay, guys. Essentially, it's an American holiday where at one brief moment in time...
You don't know that.
Okay, Native Americans were nice to us.
And gave us corn.
We were like, hey, thank you, helped us survive, okay? And then we decided to kill them later, okay? And, do all sorts of horrible things and not get along. But we still celebrate Thanksgiving for that moment in time when it was a good thing.
Because we didn't die.
I'm obviously joking. I mean, not exactly historically wrong, but Thanksgiving is basically a time where we
Give thanks for what we have.
For what we have, which I don't think is inherently wrong at all. I think it's actually I like the holiday a lot.
Yeah,
it's a good holiday.
So, the real topic I actually wanted to focus on was specifically Black Friday.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
it ties into Thanksgiving. In Canada, they have a Thanksgiving.
No, I'm talking about not Thanksgiving. Black Friday.
Black Friday. Here's the thing, though.
I'm sure it's becoming universal.
Black Friday is universal because it's held online and anyone can buy.
Isn't that Cyber Monday?
No.
Yes,
it's just for technology.
Yes,
okay. Yeah, you're
so
right.
It's just an additional thing.
It used to be. Now everything is kind of combined.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that what I really wanted to focus on was specifically Black Friday, okay? And where Thanksgiving will be happening, it is part of this topic because, ironically, Black Friday, okay, specifically Thanksgiving always lands on the last Thursday of the month of November, I think,
No,
is
I think
how
it's
it goes.
the third Thursday. Double check.
Is it the third Thursday? Well...
Nope, you're right. It's always the last.
Yeah, so it's always the last Thursday. Oddly enough, it's like, why not Friday? But here's the thing.
So we're getting a Black Friday.
For whatever reason, the powers in marketing that be were like, the Friday after Thanksgiving is a big old sale day. Let's get everyone hyped and excited to buy things.
You see, the reason for that as well, okay, besides the fact that it's a big sale day, okay, is it's the first rush before Christmas, okay, for getting gifts and that kind of thing.
Yes.
At the same time...
It's the end of the last holiday before Christmas, technically, too.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing, okay, in this country, we are a...
consumer economy.
Yeah, a capitalistic...
Yeah.
We're very consumer... what is the word I'm trying to think of? Consumerism... Capitalism. Thank you. We are
a capitalist society.
We are a capitalist society, okay? And when it comes to holidays, they are very much monetized.
Yeah, there we go.
So yes, I'm not really surprised that every single holiday is monetized extremely here.
Yeah.
So real quick, it started in 1952.
Really?
Because they would, at the end of the Thanksgiving parade, Santa always usually would be at the end, and they'd be like, all right, Santa's here and around the corner.
Wow.
And in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, many places would not put up holiday stuff, Christmas stuff, until after.
God, I wish we still went
I
by
like
that.
this. So. I like that. But here's with the question. Okay, the question obviously is Black Friday kind of taking over your Thanksgiving, and here in our capitalistic market, the answer is yes for many.
Oh, it not only is it like looming in on Thanksgiving.
It's annoyingly.
It's on Thanksgiving.
It's on Thanksgiving.
It's on Thanksgiving.
And within the last, what is that, 4-5 years or so?
No, it's been longer.
It's like 10 years.
Yeah, it's like bigger stores and stuff. What they do is come at midnight for Black Friday or something or whatever. They kept trying to open earlier and earlier to the point of where it's like, now the thing's open a full day early during your Thanksgiving dinner.
It is Black Thursday. They call it Black Friday. It is Black Thursday.
Yeah, it's now become Black Thursday, which is so ironic. I can't believe this was allowed to be. Because it's like,
why not? Who's gonna stop
America.
them?
It's like if you looked in there and someone said, "What are the cultural tent poles of America?" One's going to say a focus on family,
yes.
and then it's like, no, we actually have the holiday pushed so far back to where it's like tearing the families apart because like who wants to go to grandma's Thanksgiving party when it's like
I'm supposed to be getting a 70-inch TV for $300.
I heard they have at least 10 Xbox Series X's. I need my next gen console, Grandma. Sorry.
That would be one thing. Is who's to blame though?
That's
you
a good
can't
point.
necessarily blame. You can blame the companies all you want.
Yeah,
but they're there. Yeah.
And you know what? Here's the other thing. Okay.
And remember, they used to wait in line prior to that anyway. So
that's absolutely right. And here's the thing. Okay, when it comes down to it, when it comes to the companies and that, it's like, can you really blame them? It's like, well, that company over there is doing it, and we're gonna lose money because everybody's going there. So the next company's like, well, I mean, if they're doing it, we might as well. Yep. It's how our society runs.
And look at that. It's like that race to the bottom theory.
It is. It is that race to the bottom theory. I love that. I love that term. Now, for me personally, okay, my personal experience with this, yes, our Thanksgiving is destroyed. We legitimately go shopping on Black Thursday, and then we have our Thanksgiving Black Friday.
I know.
I'm not even kidding. And that's how we do it because number one, yeah, the deals really are fantastic. I'm gonna go get Guardians of the Galaxy for $30.
Yes.
Okay, it's already gonna be $30. Like, yes.
And you'll lend me that when you're done with it.
I don't know, maybe.
Lend it to me before you start it. Because you don't have time for it. Anyway.
But my point is, is that yes, when it comes to how our market works and that kind of thing, it's like it's kind of hard to dodge some of these deals. Yeah, I've been trying to get a new TV forever. I might as well wait until Black Friday when I can get it for half the price at twice the size.
Yeah.
You know. So
hey, now I got a tiny story to throw in there, because here's the thing. Okay.
I've worked.
Black Friday. I think we've all worked, and we will get to those stories.
Worked,
we will get to those stories.
6 of them, I believe.
Who loses?
Oh my God. Let me just say, okay, when it comes to Black Friday, companies will start mass producing their products. They speed up production. They want to get as many out there as much as possible. I remember particularly Don't Care I'm a Bear buying his Xbox One, okay, last gen's console. Buying his Xbox One on Black Friday.
Yes, he did.
And he got a junk console. Where his essentially, not saying it was bootleg or anything, his was just, the disk drive eventually broke, his controller was like fraying at the sides, it was falling apart essentially, because of probably that sped up production, like, oh no, we need to get enough out there. I bought ours at launch. Mine's been running like a champ.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah, same.
So that's the thing, is like, you gotta also worry about the idea that it's like, you might get lesser quality. I got these Beats headphones or whatever the longest time ago, one of the most expensive purchases I made. That would have been expensive. Normally they're like 150 or more. I got it for 89 or so.
I remember that. Didn't you get like a price match deal or something?
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, so it went really low and it was cool. I happened to get it online because I was like, man, what do I want?
Do you want to know something funny?
Let's hear it.
I've never shopped on Black Friday.
Really?
Wow.
What? What do you mean?
Well,
that's amazing.
Aren't you like Captain America? Shouldn't you be Captain in capitalism or something?
I was always working.
Yeah.
I never saw the appeal to it when I was a kid because I didn't have a job.
Yeah.
And when I was working, I was always working. I've maybe bought something when I got off work, but
yeah, then all the deals are gone.
I just buy my stuff.
I admit that's when I catch up on buying games for the year.
I don't.
Yeah.
I buy them.
You know.
You remember? I buy when they come out.
We're gonna have a conversation about that someday.
And so, So I've never really bought anything on Black Friday.
Wow.
I did put my computer together on Cyber Monday with my brother's help. That's about the only thing I've ever done.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's the day you wait for.
Number one, I'm either working, so I have no need to go out the next day. I'm gonna sleep in.
Sure.
Because I had to deal with that working retail for Toys
and
R Us and GameStop.
That leads to my question.
It's like your Halloween being cursed, you know. It's like your Black Friday. It's like, yeah, that's been a work day.
Do you know Walmart's not open on Black Friday this year?
Yeah, because they're open on Thursday.
No, they're not. No, my bad. They're not open on Thanksgiving.
Really?
Walmart.
Whoa, they're the ones who pushed it to Thursday.
No,
they are the ones who did this.
I was just told that. Yeah, I was just found out this all like a week ago.
Wow.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now. Okay. From what
Walmart,
I've been at one Thanksgiving in the last 7 years with my family.
Yes.
And that's. So in terms of that, yeah, and from my point of view, I feel I blame both. I blame the people and the companies.
I mean, people buy it up. It's kind of like Call of Duty complaining about Call of Duty, and everybody buys it anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the whole like people are like, well, you know, I'll use the guests say, well, I'm, you know, the only reason you exist is because I exist. I'm like, well, technically, the only reason I exist is because you exist. So it's a symbiotic relationship. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, a bit toxic, but yes.
A symbiotic poison.
I was going to say,
I think. Go ahead.
Who loses in this concept? Okay,
American parents.
Yes,
we're trying to bring their family together, and then always
sometimes the parents. Yes and no. I think it's a bonus for a lot of employees because a lot of places give time and a half depending on like an extra boost. Yes, I know that for me, my first, like, I had heard so many horror stories, I didn't know what to expect. I feel like, I guess it's hard to say who loses because the reason, obviously, they call it Black Friday is because companies make a lot of money. They're in the black, not in the red.
Wow, I never thought about that.
You didn't know that? Yeah. So
I had no idea why it was called that. I had no idea.
When you're in the red means you owe money. When you're in the black means you have a surplus of money.
Interesting.
I never knew that history either.
So, yes, I blame the company, but at the same time, I blame the consumer.
Because we go for it.
Yeah, so it's a combination. I guess you're right. Who really is about? I think, in my opinion, if I had the decision, you don't open on Thanksgiving. You just do it on Friday, or do a week-long thing. Like, because for me, like, because once I started, obviously Thanksgiving's kind of been a moot point for me. Yeah. I didn't really get a chance to enjoy it. Mm-hmm. But that would be the Christmas.
That's the most American holiday we have.
I know.
Where it's actually celebrated, you know?
Yeah.
I'm thinking two things.
One of the only days that was closed, like, Christmas is the only day, when you hear Christmas is the only day it's closed out of most of these places, it's sad. I think,
it is.
I think the country, and as you know, I'm very political, and I'm very close to my family, I think the country would be better off if we were closed on Thanksgiving.
I agree.
I understand that.
I've got two things. Okay, number one.
Go ahead.
Okay, number one, I have a theory on where this is going. Okay, future wise. And number two, okay, my actual my response to what it was kind of like working Black Friday. So for example, I was a cart pusher for Walmart for a period of time.
Yeah.
It was a horrible job.
We made some guns though.
Oh yeah. We made some guns.
The muscles.
And lost them afterwards.
Yeah, I mean,
thanks. That was an addendum that was necessary.
Hey, Chuck's got his dad bod. He lost it.
That's right. That's right. Anyway, so I remember when I worked Black Friday. Okay, number one, PO'd because it's Thanksgiving.
Yep.
It's not Black Friday. It's Black Thursday. Okay, and it's Thanksgiving, and I was mad that I was working. But as a cart pusher,
I work both days.
There is no carts left. Nobody, because as soon as they're left outside, somebody grabs it so they have one when they get inside. So I didn't have to do anything.
You just kick back, bro.
I literally was just walking around. I went inside to go see the fist fights and that.
Cool.
And that was pretty much it.
This is a Walmart.
That being
I work
said,
at a Toys R Us and a GameStop, so.
Yes. Okay. Last thing, though.
Go ahead.
Moving forward.
Okay.
If this is a capitalistic society, okay, and this should race to zero, okay,
I got
a race to the bottom.
Too. Go ahead.
Remember, Black Friday is after Thanksgiving, in theory, and it's slowly been moving on to Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. Mike said something interesting. He said, I'd rather we were closed Thanksgiving. We were just maybe like open that week or something like that. And it's like, the first person to start doing all their Black Friday deals, all of them, on Black Wednesday.
Yeah.
People will move. And I feel like it should
Walmart's
be moving probably the entire week.
Doing a week-long thing. GameStop.
Those are fake sales. Okay?
I know,
yes, they do those.
When I was there, GameStop did a whole week thing and then had extra sales on Thursday and Friday.
And that's kind of
not
what I'm talking about.
Imagine if they drip feed the deals all week. It's like, all right,
they do.
Tuesday?
They should.
Here's your
doorbuster
screen.
Yeah.
And they do that. They do that. But then they do the horrible thing where it's like, yeah, but the good deals are on Black Thursday. And that's the day I'm talking about. That day, I believe, will continue to move forward.
I think...
And hopefully that entire week, and then it'll end on Thursday.
I think, though, now with COVID stuff, and like Walmart and all these other places are closing because they want to thank their employees for all the crap they've had to deal with over the last year.
That sounds like absolute BS.
Look it up.
I don't believe that.
But
they are the ones who started this. I don't believe now that they're at the end of it. We're the ones who are doing the right thing. It's like, you started this.
I still think, hopefully maybe that'll be an argument to be made, though, going forward, if a lot of these places are closed.
It'd be good to start making better choices. But that's my opinion on Black Friday and all that nonsense.
Yeah, I've never, like I said, I've never done it. So, yeah, Costco, Walmart, and 17 other stores that will be closed on Thanksgiving.
So weird. Huh. That is the weirdest thing they've ever bothered to do.
Well, I mean, it looks...
Best Buy... Costco, Target,
optically it looks good.
Walmart.
It does look good optically, and I wonder if this is a time in the country, okay, where good optics is important.
Yes.
Where in the past it was kind of just pedal to the metal, like, hey, we're making money, who cares about the PR?
Yeah.
Right now, good optics is in short supply, and I think some people are trying to get on that.
I did want to comment on something. Did we want to speak anything to our experiences with Thanksgiving at all?
What do you mean?
Do we want to talk about
the actual thing? Like, if we could bar out Black Friday and Black Thursday, for that matter, the experiences of Thanksgiving, because it's a very American holiday, and that's something maybe a lot of the listeners might
know. I definitely have some
so basically, the biggest thing is there's always football games on. Mm-hmm. American football.
That's when the
actual
Super Bowl
football.
is? Am I wrong?
No. We always thought that. It wasn't it. We don't know anything about football.
We don't know anything
else about
it. It's in February.
Careful.
February. No, they always have...
Yes, they do. They run in the snow, and then it's fair game.
No,
you know what I mean?
It's not, because it's always done in a dome.
Don't listen to us. We don't know what we're talking about.
I know, so stop talking about it. So there's football, because actually one of the teams started the tradition, so they play every Thanksgiving, the Detroit Lions. They still suck.
That's actually I remember watching them multiple Thanksgivings. That's very true.
They haven't won a game this season.
Oh no.
So there's, and then obviously generally you eat turkey. That's always up for debate for some people.
It's an American bird. Like, yeah.
Yeah, so
I just want to say this is also the time of year when you see the turkeys. They're all full size and they're running around right now.
And you want to speed up with your car.
No. No, I see giant collections of turkeys just running
they're
in groups.
not real.
They're running halfway across the highway.
Those are the big turkeys.
You don't like wild turkey?
These are big turkeys.
I
don't know where you see. But
Nice.
you have turkey. You have yams, olives. I don't know. You're talking to the wrong person. With
all right. Just put your
I guess you missed all Thanksgiving.
Put the mac and cheese on the stove, please.
I don't cook it. Family comes together. You have people at your house. You make a big spread. You sit around at least in my family, we sit around the table and we always we always tell each other what we're thankful for.
Yeah, sure. That's a good way to go about it.
Once you're done, you pop open your pants and you go finish watching the football game. You watch football game. That's what you do.
Yeah. The top button, guys. The top button.
Yeah. Because of the Tetra, whatever it is.
Just the top button. I will say one of my favorites Thanksgivings that we had was in the last house that we were at. Okay, and we had Mike able to visit for that day, and we had the NES Classic set up. And we had like the football.
Yes. Because it was right when it came out. It was Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah. It was cool, and I really enjoyed that.
Over at our house playing the Tecmo Bowl.
I don't care for football, but to have that gaming angle, I was like, this is just neat.
That was the cutest thing I think I'd saw.
We took photos, I think, that day.
I think it was a really good day.
That was years ago.
Sure.
Good time.
Yeah, now that the Big C came around and destroyed any family gatherings in existence ever.
I think it's a little C. Big C's cancer.
Oh, sorry. Little
medium C.
Yes,
sure.
I think it qualifies for medium C.
It's enlarging C. Yeah.
It only destroys family gatherings if you let it.
Yeah.
You can have the middle C.
We just haven't gotten back to it. I don't even think we're afraid of like the worries and everything, the typical worries you get there. We're just kind of done.
It changed.
Did your family ever do it though?
Technically, our grandma moved out of state, and she was the one who did it, and then we were supposed to all take it up ourselves.
It was our uncle who did it.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah,
I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess Thanksgiving particularly was destroyed in our family. That's interesting.
Yeah, and then mom and dad tried to pick it up, but they don't know what they're doing for Thanksgiving. So
mine was like
stop over there.
Ideally, it would be we had a friend's Thanksgiving, and then we'd do it with my family. But that obviously worked out for me.
Yes,
because I've gone to your house almost every year.
That's because we do it on Friday.
Yeah.
Black Friday.
It's a smart day to do it.
It is a smart day to do it.
I actually have to work this year on 10 to 8 on Thanksgiving.
Oh.
Which hopefully, no one will be doing anything.
I don't. Our preschool's closed on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving break or something. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
But anyway, Thanksgiving, pretty important in my house. Obviously, my family exploded in 2 years.
Not even a year.
Yeah, that's true. 2 to 6 in 2 years.
You went from 0 to 4 in a year and a half.
Yeah.
Man, so busy.
Very busy.
That's not even that's not even physically possible.
Somehow it happened.
But anyway, obviously, family is very important for me and that kind of thing.
Same.
I've never been one that fits into the mold of a capitalist society. So, job wise or working wise. So family's been more important for me.
I would disagree. You fit into it because you understand, you're part of you do the capitalist stuff. You just not a...
Yes.
It's
the working part of it that doesn't work for me.
Yeah, but you still have a job.
I mean, I do this show, for example. I can't make a living off of it. No way.
But you do your daycare. That's technically involved.
Yes, that's what...
That helps the capitalistic...
That's mostly the wife. Yeah. I do assist, though, a lot. But,
not on Tuesdays. You just watch your baby.
That's true.
Which is just your...
That is assisting.
No,
Are
it's
you
not.
minimizing my role as stay-at-home dad?
No, watching your baby shouldn't be a job. It's your responsibility.
Raising children is a job. I'm sorry.
It's a responsibility.
It is. It can be both.
It's a job you don't get paid for, guys.
Another topic for another day. But point is,
Fair.
Thanksgiving, very important in my house.
Same.
It's easy to talk about what you're thankful for, and my wife, huge on the food. She loves food. So Thanksgiving, definitely one of her favorite holidays.
All right, guys. The next topic is daylight savings time.
This is my topic.
Yeah, this is this
I'll lay the
particularly
groundwork.
an American thing still?
Yes.
I think it is.
I looked it up. All right, so
please do it.
Here's the history of daylight savings time because I looked into it. So basically, it had always been talked about since Benjamin Franklin kind of introduced it in
Thanks, Benjamin.
It was him?
No, he brought it up. He didn't implement it.
Okay.
Yes, it was him.
The first city to enact it was Canada, Ontario, in Ontario, Canada.
It wasn't even American.
1908, and then everyone else did it. And the reason they did it was because...
The worst reason of all time.
World War I, they was used a way to conserve coal during wartime. So many of the countries did that. And then they stopped it after the war, except for us. And then we did it again in World War II, again, to save oil and consumption like that. And then there was apparently a 1970s energy crisis that, like, affected basically most of the United States, Western Europe, substantial petroleum ones, so they brought it back.
Oh, so we found out that we can save money by doing this.
Well, so that's the deal, is they started it to protect, like I said, to help supply coal, prevent, loss of coal during World War I and fuel during World War II, and then because of the energy crisis in the 70s. However, most countries have since gotten rid of daylight savings time. In fact, literally looking at the only ones that still do it is United States, Canada, Australia, and then apparently the United Kingdom, European Union have what they call summertime. And so...
we have summertime here too.
So yeah, as a result of... However, it is now becoming it is very, very controversial topic, especially now, I don't know why. But there's a bunch of states, and I know the entire European Union and other places have laws or have bills in legislation to just go to a universal standard time and drop it completely. I think European Union, for you guys out there, it's literally awaiting. It's been since like October 2020. They're waiting on it. Now America goes state by state, but that has to be approved by Congress, which I don't know if they're doing it. However,
just say yes or no.
So basically,
please.
they basically, as many of you know, in the spring we move our clock forward 1 hour.
The disaster day.
That's the disaster day. And
when you get fired.
In the fall, and this always happens at 1:59 on a Sunday, and then
in the morning.
In the fall, spring forward, fall back. Fall, you move your clock back 1 hour.
Best day of the year.
There was some other controversy I was reading, is because there were some issues, is because they didn't. The timing also meant children were getting off or on the bus really dark and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Apparently, the only people that are against this are some scientists saying that it would mess up some kind of circadian rhythm, and so they've written a paper.
Rest of the world is
they've
fine.
written a paper about how it would be disastrous. So basically, like I said, for you that don't know, for whatever for the original, I get why we did it. World War I, World War II, energy crisis to save, stuff like that. I don't really know why we do it. Let me explain this. So that's what we do it. So spring forward, fall back. So during the summer, we're technically in daylight savings time, and then during the winter, we are out of daylight savings time.
So we are on universal time right now.
No, we're in central. It's considered CST, Central Standard Time. During the summer, we're on Central Daylight Time.
We're in line with the rest of the world.
We're minus 6
We're relatively
again.
Where we should be, rather than confusing everyone. It's like,
yes.
No, we changed your clocks, guys.
Yeah,
we're now going other time.
Yeah, and we're back to being -6 from the universal time in Greenwich. So basically it started off as, like I said, a way to conserve fuel and supplies for the war, both world wars, and then due to lack of energy.
Yeah.
No one knows why we still have it.
I recently watched a video. Neil deGrasse Tyson put one out talking about it. He does every year. He talks about daylight savings time because he hates it. He said this is what he said about it. He said it was introduced by Benjamin Franklin to save candles.
Yes, which would be the same reason World War I, World War II is
exactly
because you're using
save on candles.
Yeah,
it's like
it's a smart idea.
Now we have electricity, and it's like
this isn't a thing anymore.
I despise daylight savings time.
Well, here let me go.
What
with
is
this.
ignorant?
We'll give you my take, and I know because I know what Chuck feels. Originally, I had like Chuck was saying earlier, I had no stake in the game because the way I saw it,
I had stakes.
The spring sucked because, like Nick said, I lose an hour of sleep. That's the only thing I cared about. Didn't care about anything else. In the fall, I was like, it goes to 1:59, it goes back to 1, I gain an hour of sleep. That was all I cared about because for work, that was all that mattered. My new job, I can see why Chuck doesn't like it. So in the spring, I was working my new job. I work from 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. So 1:59 hit, and then it went to 3. So I lost that entire hour, and I didn't get paid for it.
Wow!
Because technically, I didn't work till 3.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And then just the other day, because I work 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. Literally, it was 1:59. Normally, I'd be ready to clock out. because all the machines shut off, except they don't because it went back till 1 o'clock. So I worked 11 hours and 10 hours because I'm that good. So then I was like, I see why people hate this. Yep. I made a comment to my buddy about, I was like, oh, I need to run for Congress. And he's like, if you tell me right, he goes, I wouldn't vote for you. I'm like, that's mean. He goes, if you tell me right now you'd get rid of daylight saving times, I would vote for you. I was like, okay, clearly this is hated.
No problem.
Some states do it, some states don't. Again, I don't know why we still do it. Because we're not, I mean, it really doesn't factor.
I know why.
I think we're just stuck in there. And Congress is stupid at times. So I will blame them as well. Because we can blame our government for certain things. Since they have to approve it. Yep. But there are a good, 20-some states that have legislation passed to get rid of it or go to a universal time. A lot of people claim that it would mess up rhythms of things. I think farmers claim that that's false.
Oh my gosh. Look, there's so many excuses about this. We live on a planet. There's this rock flying through space, and I'm telling you right now, it goes in this cool pattern that happens every year. It's called a year, okay?
Guys, and believe it or not, we used to actually live on this planet without daylight savings time. In fact, all of our species pretty much existed without it.
It wasn't brought up till the 1700s, like the 1700s.
And there's still plenty of people in the world who are still, chugging on, with their nice circadian rhythm, and it's fine, but, we might die if we if we get rid of this.
Yes, for the record, I did get paid. I got paid 11 hours for 10 hours. I just want to put that out there.
Good.
So that's going to be my new paycheck.
Not that anybody wants to work that extra
11
hour.
and 10 hours. Yeah,
no, not at all.
But, it's one of those things, it just rubs me the wrong way. It's like, are we just seriously just ignoring the problem, and it's more convenient to just keep going?
What I read is a lot of countries after the war, a couple of years after the war, they stopped it. Once they got back to normal, they went back. There is legislation of some type. I didn't get a chance to research as much as I would like because I had a lot of work this week. But I know that's the basis of it. Is it falls from energy from World War I to World War II, and there was Europe and the Allies adopted an energy saving thing. Same thing in both
Guys,
of those.
I know why this is still around.
Because our Congress is too lazy to do it.
No, not at all.
I think they're trying to cut corners and continue to save money on energy.
No, not at all. I don't think so. I think that's
save energy
for Congress, but I know
we're losing energy through the roof.
Okay,
now.
My state has nuclear power. Can we just blanket off this state, please?
No, because everyone's afraid.
No, guys. Here's why it's still here.
Why?
Congress says, "Oh, we could save money. Cool. We're spending less. Cool. Because it's more daylight time during the summer or whatever. It's fine." And then the marketing people are like, hey, summertime's warm. People go outside. We want more daylight so people can shop longer.
You don't honestly think that this is a lobbying issue, do you?
I absolutely think it's a lobbying issue.
It's not.
They're the people who vote on it, and they haven't gotten rid of it yet. Why do you think it's still here?
Probably because no one has decided to bring it up, and it was probably...
Why do you think it's a low priority?
Because it's a low priority compared to other things.
You tell them it's done,
You tell me it's like, hey, for the entirety of your entire summer shopping calendar year, we're going to move the clocks back to where it gets darker faster.
Question, teacher, hey,
it gets dark at 5. No one wants to go out after work and shop because it's dark.
Question, teacher.
So that's why we like it being light.
The sun comes out at a certain time of the day. Maybe we should just get up when it comes out and then maybe go to sleep an hour early.
That would be a fantastic way for
maybe we should just work with the planet.
But we don't do that. But in all honesty, I want to play some devil's advocate here, okay?
Bring it. I
dare you. For daylight savings time.
You're going to get...
In a weird way, I think we should permanently add daylight savings time.
What do you mean?
Year-round.
That's what we do now.
No. It's currently off. It has a season where it's on, season where it's off.
Summer is where it's on, yeah.
Yep.
Winter is where it's off.
I think it should always be on.
What does that mean?
It means...
He means we
get more daylight for the entire year.
That's not how it works. You just don't get daylight because you have daylight savings time.
Oh, sure you do. You back up the thing, and then now, in the summer, there's a reason it gets dark at 8 o'clock.
No. In winter time...
Right now, it's getting dark at 4 o'clock.
It stays dark, so we would be getting up... And it would continue to be darker.
And that's one of the fears.
Sure, but I'd be getting out of work when it's actually lighter.
Okay, you're right.
Because when we did our daylight savings time and we turned it off, I was going from leaving work at sunset, now leaving work in the pitch black.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it is. And it's like, I'd rather keep it on.
Yeah, why? Because you're still...
He would be getting out at sunsets.
I would be getting out at sunsets, not driving home in the dark where we can encounter nightmare fuel, on the roads. it would be nice to leave it in the daylight. And I understand deeper in the winter it's going to get darker.
I guess that's what it is. A lot of people want permanent daylight saving time. So I guess you want. So I guess it's hard to think of. So you want it basically. Put us on the world stage. Crank our universal time. Have you seen the time zone lines? They don't make any sense. Yes.
They're all carved out sideways like this because we want more time here.
It's we decided we want to have an extra.
Let's do it. Let's just take the Pacific line out of Hawaii and just stretch it over and then
it could also
all the lines sideways.
You realize it also could be. It also could have something to do with like when the country was adopted as a country or a state or something like that.
Let me tell you, the sun rises, the sun sets. We know when it happens every single day. Let's base it on that.
Yeah. Well, what's the difference of just keeping the time now?
It's dark now. I don't like this.
It would
get darker faster in summer if we didn't have daylight savings time. I like being up at 8 p.m. and it's like it's bright out.
It doesn't matter. Look, what you're trying to say is. You're just saying is so the clock right now is normal. This is what everyone else in the entire world follows.
Yes.
So what you're saying is we should go against what everyone else does and turn it on.
Here's what I'm saying.
Isn't that what we do with like football and soccer? If you look at the lines instead.
If you look at the lines, okay, the time zone lines all over the globe, they're all carved out in weird directions.
Yes, but what you're saying is...
No one is going by a straight... No one's going by the vertical line, whichever one that one is, on the globe. No one's going by the vertical line for the time zone. They have them all carved out. They're all sideways, and they're blocking them out over into this state.
I think what he's saying is that everybody is kind of loose.
Time zone is made up
anyway. It wouldn't matter.
What I'm saying is everyone's time zone is made up anyway.
Yes.
They're all made up? Let's bump ours out.
No.
Permanently.
Technically, it wouldn't change it. Your logic doesn't make any sense because if you just kept this time all year round, it still wouldn't matter.
Think of it this way.
You'd still get out at the same time.
Hear me out. Here's what I'm saying.
You're not making sense
here. Hear me out. In the summer, okay, when you get out at 5 o'clock, the sun is really hot.
I'm in work at 4 p.m.
Sure, but you know where the sun is in the summer at 4 p.m., okay?
I guess.
It's pretty bright out. And in fact, you're going to get light for another 4 hours.
Yeah, I know. It drives me insane.
I don't like light.
I don't like that much. It shouldn't be.
Guys,
the sun should not be up at like 8 p.m.
I'm so okay with it.
No.
I can go out at 8 p.m.
It doesn't matter.
Tennis.
It doesn't matter.
That's cool.
But listen to me. It doesn't matter because if on this time zone now, we're back to normal with the rest of the world. What you're trying to say is we should go and change it for no reason.
Is that how we do our temperatures and our measuring?
Yeah, we should change that.
Foot and all that. We
should get rid of the king's measurements here in America, where we're like, no kings, but we'll take his measurement system.
We believe the king had roughly a 12-inch foot.
Hey, look,
so we're measuring everything by the king's standard foot.
We're a new continent. We can do whatever we want.
We can.
So back to what I was saying though is you're making sense. It's not making sense because if we change the time, if you leave the time the way it is now, the sun is still going to be that way in the summer.
No, it's gonna be dimmer at 8 p.m. It's gonna be dark at 8 p.m. rather than the light we get at 8 p.m.
I got a question that's totally unrelated about the whole king's foot thing. Do you think he was compensating for something?
Depends on the king.
They just exaggerated the length of his foot?
Yes, it depends on the king.
Is it possible?
That
the measurement about
we need to talk to our
this is another topic about monarchies. Will be another topic I will talk about.
We'll get the write-ins from our European viewers and stuff, and we'll get their hot takes on this. How do they think?
So I feel like you're saying. How about this? I'm gonna end it like
we're
this.
We're all playing with funny time.
So we all listen. We agree. We all want daylight saving time to go away.
Yes.
Chuck, right? Correct.
Or permanent ad, whichever way. I'm fine with that.
So my question is, Chuck, right now, would you leave the time the way it is right now?
It's turned off.
Do you like my idea?
It's turned off. So right now would be the time for the rest of the year.
Versus.
I don't know. I guess stop talking, Nick.
Okay, versus the current.
No, versus what Nick wants. So
okay, do you want brighter summers or do you want?
It doesn't matter.
All right, here's how we feel about this. Okay, honestly, I don't care either way as long as we stop flip flopping it.
No more funny time.
You're the one who want to add an extra.
I want it permanent. What I want is no nonsense time. That's all I want.
Turn down all the time.
I want no nonsense. Which the nonsense part, that part of the sentence, is the flip flop.
It is.
Where it's the change back.
But you want to turn on.
I don't care.
In the long run,
I don't care if they call it 6 a.m. right now. Okay, I don't care.
It's all even if you stop changing it. That's all. It's all fine. We can bump it permanently forward, and it'll all even out. It's fine. If we keep changing it back and forth, it's just funny time.
As long as it keeps changing.
And keep screwing with our overseas partners who we keep trying to do business with.
It's debatable. Did you know that some states
California.
part of the state has daylight saving times and the other part doesn't?
How about Nevada or is it New Mexico? They're just like we're not doing it.
Yes, one of them doesn't do it. Yes, one state
they just don't do it.
Yeah, Nevada.
I'm fine with that.
But the American Indians still do apparently. Like they
That's
observe.
so goofy.
Yeah, I know. But
Why would they?
I don't know what's something to do with them. That's their own land. They can do what they want. But no. So yes, daylight savings time, at least for us, it's very odd.
Can you imagine everyone's like breaking out the original sundial clocks? It's like I don't see what you're talking about. What's going on?
I don't understand.
It's like what you're saying doesn't make any sense.
What needs to happen is it just
Do
needs to
sundials stop working?
No, they still work because
No.
the sun because
I know, but the sun didn't massively shift. I don't think sundials are adapted.
The sundials are now an hour
yeah.
off
probably
in America.
That's
It's the
ridiculous.
one place on the planet where the time doesn't
sundial doesn't
Imagine
work.
us, all the kids in science class in America teaching Fahrenheit and inches and feet and
they're not.
and
When
yards
you're
and
in
stuff.
high school,
And then they're like, all right, let's do the experiment with the sundial in the summer. We're looking at it. It's like it looks like it says it's
no, in the summer it would work.
It says it's noon, teacher.
Maybe.
We're supposed to be at lunch. It's like, no, little Jimmy, we've changed time.
It's daylight savings time.
We have the power.
Yeah.
We're saving energy for wartime.
Yeah.
All right.
We're planning ahead.
Was there any comments for this one?
Let me guess here. Let's
One
get some
person said
comments.
it made his. Azran said it hurt his brain. So
That was Nuke.
Nuke,
it
so
hurts.
we
It
were
makes-
just
it
going
hurts
to be
my
like,
brain, and I completely
We
agree.
all
Let's
agree
get
with
rid of the
that.
funny time. And here comes a comment from Anonymous, actually.
Okay.
Mike, would you like to read it since you're staring directly at it?
why don't we have these days off on the worldwide calendar? Should we get in trouble at work or school for being late? Will the state ever agree to cancel daylight savings time? Will
Sounds
people
like
know vote/support it? So who did this? Was anonymous?
This is Anonymous.
Well, okay. The problem is number one. I don't know if when you mean state, if you mean country or state.
I think because
it's
it's also
by
on
the states have
states
to
can
decide.
decide. So it's like,
Depends.
will
So
anyone
whoever
do it?
anonymous is, I don't know what there are. Look up legislation because there are state. Our state is one of them that has passed it. Again, but Congress
Kill it.
Congress has to make the approval. I'm not 100% sure why I have to go check.
Hey, Congress, could you really? Could
I
you
have
just
to go
on your
check
lunch break?
my Constitution notebook of the Constitution rules. The original Constitution, not the crap we deal with now. But yeah, so
And I think we've discussed a lot of
number one.
Oh, actually,
I don't think it's not has nothing to do with getting these days off. That's just,
no. I think the point
stupid.
is like, look, if it happens
Do we
on
deserve
a
a
day,
day off?
Tuesday or
You're
something,
gonna
it's
screw
like
us like this.
you
It's
gotta
on a
get to
Sunday
school.
anyway. Most people are
It
off.
landed on a Sunday this year.
No,
That's just this year.
No,
I remember going to school
it
and
is
not going to school
every
at the right time and waiting for a bus.
Sunday. It's always on a Sunday.
That must have changed.
No, it's not. It's been on a Sunday forever.
A lot of people work Sundays.
I don't.
a lot of people
yes,
in this
but it's
society
always
do.
been-
God, nothing was worse than the
Listen
spring
to me,
one.
it's
And it's like,
always-
hey, you got to go to church.
It's
like,
always
earlier.
1:59. It's always 1:59 on a Sunday.
Is it?
Yes, I promise.
seems
you.
like
You're
that
talking
doesn't
to the
sound right at all.
time zone expert,
Here's what I'll
right?
say.
No,
Look,
you could.
look,
I'm the
look.
time zone expert.
I will say, I will give it to you. I will believe you.
Chuck even declared.
Well, I was.
Oh, Chuck, you have an official
did-
take on this?
Yeah,
Is he the
declared-
time zone expert?
Yes, he called me on Game Pass the other
Does it
day.
always happen on a Sunday?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Yes, I believe it does. But
Okay.
that being said,
I also can name time zone.
how about this? And this will bleed into
We're
my
not
topic
getting-
a
you're
little
not
bit. Oh no,
you're
no.
not-
I guess one of my past topics here. Out of all of the people,
Bring it back up.
out of all of the people for this particular question,
Sure.
out of all of the people who would get hurt by this, it would be the retail worker who gets messed. They're on the lowest totem pole. They're the most disposable, and the easy excuse to
Not
fire
the
them.
teachers who have to
they
have all the
showed
kids
up late.
funnel in. Half of them don't.
It's Sunday,
All the
so it
parents
doesn't
are
count the
angry. The
teachers.
It
kids are
doesn't-
crying.
No, it doesn't count the teachers.
Anyone who
But-
shows up late, that's just a stupid excuse.
Whoa.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, I sleep
If you
through it.
live for 25 years of your life, let's say.
No.
20
Wait a minute. Daylight
I-
savings
no,
time
it's not.
is
For
still
like
No, it's
30
not.
years,
You want to know
and
why?
I'm
Because
still
your
bad on the alarm
phones do
clock.
it automatically.
What if you use a digital alarm
No
clock,
one
bro?
uses digital alarm
I
clocks.
do.
Liar. But you
I
still
do.
have. I'm telling you.
I
Listen.
have one.
They have daylight savings times mode. So
No, it
suck
doesn't.
it up. Well, then you
It
then
doesn't.
you don't
I
have
have
a
to
digital.
manually adjust it.
So
It has a battery in there, though, so it keeps the time if it goes out of power.
My
So that's
car
cool.
was wrong, Like imagine I'm driving to work.
Yeah.
everyone
My
knows
phone's
it's
dead.
everywhere. Claiming that I'm late because of daylight savings time. I'm not gonna get if I'm the manager. You're not gonna get in trouble. But it's a stupid lie.
Guys, I'm a dumb person because I am real bad.
But my point is,
your phone. My phone does it automatically.
Out of anybody to be hurt by it, it would be the most disposable.
Everyone gets hurt by it. There's no one that doesn't get hurt by it.
Look at that!
It should end.
Cancel it now, Congress. Fix this. Fix the conundrum. End the debates. End the arguments. End the friendship-breaking discussion that destroys families, friends, and loved ones.
They actually enable that stuff, so we probably won't.
Yeah, we'll see.
But no, so I think most people have started to learn hate daylight savings time. So
in the long run, do we think this will die?
Yes, just can't.
I think it will already. I think it will in our lifetime. If it doesn't in my lifetime,
I think it does in the next 5 years. I bet it does.
You have to get people that you have to get Congress to actually do
2 or 3.
You're right. You'll have to get them to do something. But that's why I said give them 5 years from 2 years ago.
10
from starting to. I hope it's not
10.
It
would. You can't give them 2 years because. I'm gonna guess. Yeah, I don't see it dying anytime soon. I really don't.
Within the next 5 years.
Nope. If I die and it's still going on, I will not be shocked. If I'm like 100 and die.
All right, guys. Our final topic: tipping culture, employee opportunity, or employer abuse. Chuck, would you like to open for us?
I would. Now, I brought ourselves a thick boy today.
This is Chuck's topic.
So I was sitting there perusing, the interwebs because there's a new system.
You mean Reddit?
No, actually. So I'm really excited about this new system. It's a bit of a revolution, that kind of started really thanks to the medium C that is COVID, which was the delivery of groceries. Okay, so I was basically shopping for groceries. And I was really excited about this.
Yeah.
Because they had a free trial. There's not many places to really buy your groceries and that kind of thing around here. So I'm getting it from the Walmart, and they have their pickup service. So I order mine online. I drive up, I pick it up, they throw it in my trunk, I drive home. Awesome sauce, saves me like an hour and a half a week, every week. Anyway, I saw the free trial for the free deliveries, and I was like, okay, that's cool beans. Basically, it's something like, it's $100 a year, What? I'm now running a business, where I need to feed small children, So I'm buying even more groceries more often. I'm like, okay, delivery service kind of makes sense, So I was thinking, and I was like, okay.
You can write that off the tax thing.
Yeah, probably. So I was like, okay, you know what? This finally makes sense. Like, at first I was like, okay, yes, delivery $100 a year. I'm like, yeah, pretty good, but whatever, I'll just keep driving. Now I'm running a business. I gotta buy groceries almost twice a week sometimes. So it's like, okay, delivery service totally makes sense. So I'm signing up for the free trial. I'm getting ready. I got this $200-something order going. And I get to go to the checkout. They're like, hey, you're over this amount. Oh, yeah, by the way, you're paying $100 a year for free shipping. Or free delivery, I'm sorry. Free delivery. I'm like, okay, cool beans.
Yeah.
So I'm going there, and I go to check out, and it says, there's this little box, and it says, optional, fully optional, it says, tipping for the driver. How much would you like to tip? And I was like, wait a second. I said, wait, I'm paying $100 a year for free delivery. Why am I isn't that included? So I go down the horrible rabbit hole of Reddit and everything else that there is on the internet about, wait, am I supposed to tip the Walmart driver? ? Turns out, these local stores that are doing these deliveries are using things like DoorDash, And they're using these different delivery services. And basically what happens is a job goes out.
It's not a Walmart delivery?
Huh?
It's not a Walmart delivery.
It's not like a Walmart
employee.
Apparently certain places have actual employees for this, but many of them don't, and they utilize a local system that actually will do it for you. Basically what happens is the job offer goes out to these delivery drivers, and people bid to get it. Basically they just say, hey, I'll take that job.
It's like a construction job.
And a lot of times it'll say how much the tip is, already, and it'll have the cut that Walmart's going to give you. From what I've heard, Walmart gives like $3 is what you'll get paid for doing delivery, and then it's assumed you'll get a tip after that. So a lot of these places, for example, I was looking it up, and a lot of the people who do this service, they said, it's like, yeah, Walmart people, they never tip, and apparently they didn't have a box for the tipping before. But now it's like, okay, at this point, I was already a little agitated. I was really excited to get, the deliveries. I'm paying $100 a year for free deliveries. But now it's like, I'm not going to stick the driver every single time. You know what I mean? So I have to make a decision at this point. Am I paying $100 a year for this? Or am I going to end up paying, okay, I buy groceries once a week, I'm going to tip them, somewhere between $5 to $10, question mark. Okay, now I'm looking at $20 additional, okay, per month. Okay, the service is no longer, $15 a month. It's like $30 a month for deliveries unless you're going to stiff the driver every time.
Yeah.
So it got me thinking about this, and I was like, okay, number one, it's a big thing labeled there, optional tip.
It's always
optional. And yes, it is. Okay, technically, nobody has to take that job. Okay, they might see the $3 from the Walmart, hope for the tip.
You're paying for free delivery. Who delivers it if no one takes the job?
Nobody.
See, you're paying for the
That's
service.
A great question. I don't know.
This changes my whole
what kind of nonsense is this?
Argument about what I was going to say.
So, and that was one of the things, that brought me to the whole topic of tipping culture in general. Okay?
He worded this terribly.
I probably did.
I worded it better.
It made me start thinking about this. I was like, well, shouldn't you... if I'm paying $100 a year, shouldn't you guys be paying them a decent tip? Okay, or some mild amount, an acceptable amount for delivering the groceries, not $3. Okay, like if Walmart's only going to pay him $3 out of the I pay $99 a year, blah blah blah. You have multiple people do it.
I feel like no one should be filling in that tip because that's just supporting Walmart to get away with this.
And that's where I started getting into Crazy Town. Should we be supporting tipping culture in general, or should we be pushing for, hey, you should pay your own employee a deservable wage, not I hope I have a good night tonight, and make okay money with tips.
All right, I got some opinions on this one.
Let's hear
I've had them. Now, number one,
there's a lot more to my topic, but go.
Did you want to go ahead?
Sure, I'll elaborate a little bit more. Okay, so we can move into multiple areas for tipping. Okay, look, you're basically looking at deliveries. Many times.
Okay.
You're looking at bartenders. Okay, you're looking at hosts or what do you call them?
Waitresses.
Waitresses.
The bag carrier at a hotel. It's like, sure. Hey, I'll take your bag. It's like, get away from me. I ain't paying. No.
Sure.
Fine.
And those are different places where you might tip.
Okay.
Although
I can go on that.
That was an ugly word to use. Okay, which I said might tip. Because the tip is completely dependent upon. It's like, oh, did you do good service? But at the same time, not everybody really knows how to do math. Oh, you're supposed to do a 20% tip.
No, a lot of places now do it with their tablets have it automatically.
Do.
15, 30, they do it automatically.
Now, for waitresses and that kind of thing, or waiters, waitresses, whatever, okay, a lot of times, depending on the restaurant, okay, they do different styles of how the tip works. Oh, it goes into a pool, which everybody takes a cut.
Yeah, but
or
you don't...
each of you take your own tip.
That's not your job to know that, though.
The owner takes a portion of every tip, which I've also seen.
Never heard of that.
It's an unfortunate reality in tipping culture.
So here's
my question is, okay, essentially, and I guess I never talked about the positives of it. You could have a great night and you get a great tip, okay, and you can make some serious bank. I know bartenders sometimes they make a lot of money doing tipping. Mm-hmm. Bartending, I think I've heard, typically for tipping is much better off than many of the other places.
I guarantee you.
But things like, DoorDash, things like, the Ubers and that kind of thing.
So what's the question then?
My big question, okay, is just that, like, is tipping, is this a good system to have? Or should we be pushing for, an actual wage for these employees? Now, obviously, there could be some other counteractive effects. Oh, wait a second, the delivery services just die off because nobody can pay them a wage. Ubers just die off because nobody is paying them a wage. Is this a great opportunity for people to just make money themselves? Or is this a practice that workplaces can totally abuse their workers in? Where they are, hey, we work at a restaurant, you get $3 an hour plus tip. Good luck.
Okay, so here's my
That's
take.
My topic.
So now you unloaded that one. Listen, here's the deal. In terms of I thought Walmart actually had people that did it because when you do the pickup, the Walmart employees.
That's what I thought until I saw that.
So had that been the thing, I wouldn't have tipped because I'm like you're getting paid by Walmart. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree.
So here's how I usually go.
I assume you're getting paid, right?
I don't like tipping pizza people because I feel like that's their job to drive my house. Granted, I also had a bad experience where I heard the guy up the price over the phone to his employer. So I was like, now you just make me hate you guys even more. Different for waitresses and waitresses. I know that some places pay them under minimum wage because some states have it to where if you have the opportunity of tips, you get paid less.
Yeah. There are places in America where we have a universal minimum wage. Like, there's a bottom. And if you can get tips, then they're allowed to go under that line. It's you get paid $3 an hour. The rest you make in tips. It's like, what?
That I'm not a fan of. So here's the deal. So in terms of what you're saying, Generally, yes, I will tip like depending on the service. If I go to a restaurant, I usually do pretty well. I've had experiences where like they were absolutely god awful, and I was like, no, I don't. You were terrible. The food was your place is disgusting. This and that. But so in terms of like the Walmart delivery service or the Uber, and you're talking about that, that's on them. I'm not saying. Here's the deal. I'm not saying people should or shouldn't tip. It should be up to the person. The problem is Uber is something you choose to do.
Yes, it is.
So if they choose to want to,
is this a great opportunity for people to have a job?
Yes, because they choose to do it on the sides. So if Uber decides to have to make a minimum wage, they would then have to offer benefits, and Uber would just go down the toilet. Same with DoorDash. And all I'm saying that's what people choose to do. I'm not saying that they can't, that they're stuck on it. But so here's what I'm trying to say. If you're doing Uber, if you're doing DoorDash or delivery, you have to expect that it's going to be fluctuation. That's a choice. It's not a normal. I'm not saying it's not a normal job, but that's the way you're choosing to go. You're choosing to be a DoorDash driver. You're choosing to be an Uber driver. It's like a taxi driver too. Like you're dependent on that. There's no way Uber survives. There's no way DoorDash survives by giving an actual way a payment, because then you have to benefits, you have certain taxes.
That's a really good point.
And I think then it destroys the entire whole system of Uber.
And that's why I kind of
because you have to file tax. You're gonna have to file taxes for it.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of added that. Is that it's one of those things where it's like, well, tipping culture does enable a particular grouping of jobs to actually exist that might not be able to exist otherwise.
Yeah.
So there might be some benefits to this.
So basically, if it had been a Walmart employee, not tipping at all, because they're getting paid by Walmart. That's their job. That's how I see it. Again, my biggest one I don't like, pizza delivery drivers. It's your job.
Admittedly, here's the thing about pizza delivery drivers.
I know they probably get screwed, but
they actually get paid in tips.
Yeah, that's how paid.
So it might.
When the dude on the phone, when I said, hey, they're like, it's $2, correct? And the guy goes, no, it's $4, and I'm like, all right, then why is the owner saying 2 and then the delivery driver saying 4? You ain't getting tipped. That agitated me, and that kind of put me off towards that type of thing. But restaurants, I tip and all that stuff. But at the same time, they're making a below minimum wage, I think, in our state. So
I gotta admit, like, okay, so this put me
Uber and them, you can't. I disagree with giving them. It's the destruction of Uber and delivery and DoorDash and Grubhub. If you
they tried to do that in California. I don't know if that's still the case, but it was. They're saying no. All your people have to be employees, so then they can get like
benefits,
fair wage,
benefits and everything like that. And they're like, we can't function doing that.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, it's a contractor market. But this got me really thinking when I was researching this topic. I said, well, wait a second. This whole system about tipping, like I don't like this system at all, and it made me start thinking. I'm like, I don't know if I want to go to restaurants. When I go to restaurants, I tip, and I usually tip generously because I understand. But at the same time,
demands it.
I'm like, am I enabling this?
You're enabling it, but the thing is, look, if you want to fight against the tipping system, you need to look your waiter or your wait staff in the eye and say, I don't support this system, so there's not going to be a tip. Or you just look really rude, and it's like, it's not their fault.
It's not a job. That's exactly why. And then I said, well, I don't know if I want to go to restaurants in the first place because of this. And I don't know if I'm going back to restaurants, especially after COVID. At this point, it's like I've adjusted in different ways. Fast food, I'm not tipping. Go through the drive-thru, whatever. Okay, but that's another thing. I could actually get a lot of this food. You could actually order it and then pick it up.
Yeah, but it's okay. Now you're going crazy. Well, you're a little bit crazy talk.
I don't give a rat's about eating in the restaurant. Okay, that's the whole point of tipping.
I like soggy sandwiches when it comes in like wrapped, and then it's like it just
so let me
ask you this.
It's not good. See, this would be another. This would have to be a topic on itself. But you don't want to go to the restaurant. So what you're saying is, sorry, Nick. I know you're going to the table. The reason I go to a restaurant is for the atmosphere. Is to sit down away from everything else at a place where I can get food that I normally don't have.
Yes.
I can't go and get steak at a drive-thru that's going to taste the same if I go to a restaurant. So
but would you order it ahead of time?
After the medium C, okay, with
I don't
COVID,
care.
Everybody started doing delivery and pickups.
It's not the same. It's stupid. That's like people became lazy. That's what I'm going to say. You're not going to get a steak that I can get at our Outback Steakhouse. It's not going to taste the same while I'm there than it is a delivery driver who's got to go there, pick it up, then drive to my house, which is nowhere near Outback Steakhouse.
I believe you're right.
So I think the whole fact that I'm never going to go back to a restaurant, I think you're a little psycho on that. But I don't think. Here's my question.
I know Chuck well enough to know that's not psycho for him.
No, I know. I realize it, but it's still psycho in general. I think the reason it's a good thing, tipping, in terms of the culture, I know, would be because generally these jobs are starter or intro jobs. Yes. So it builds you the social skills. It builds you some of those skills as up. Yes, it's not cool that they have the minimum wage thing. I will agree with that. But I think the tipping, sometimes you get bonus on it. But I don't think you getting rid of it's not going to do anything. It's not going to change anything. If you don't tip, just because you're like, oh, it's the same person I had, and I know this is a little off topic, that the whole Overwatch Blizzard thing. Yeah. One guy's like, well, I'm going to boycott him by not playing Overwatch. That's not going to do anything. Yeah, right. And it depends on state by state basis too, because some states have, like Nick said, if you meet the minimum, if you earn X amount of dollars, you can. Or you have earned X amount of dollars, you fall below that wage. So, like you said, bars they make bank.
Yeah, they do.
It
seems like some of these tipping areas work well, and
that's
because
alcohol's involved.
Yes,
and usually some other things, some other factors.
I don't know how bad. I don't know how efficient Uber is or DoorDash or those. I don't know how well those. DoorDash is more than a delivery service. Uber, on the other hand, moves people like a taxi.
It's a taxi, so that they'd probably be.
I assume they get paid better in general in the tipping area, but I'm not sure. Yeah. Well, then again, Uber also takes a portion of the tip.
Oh, see again.
And this is why, like some of these areas, it's like bartending seems like it works, but many other areas it feels like
the problem though is you're looking at it as an overall thing. Again, the one hard thing, and this is it's unique to us. Sorry, Nick, I know you haven't talked a lot.
No, go ahead.
There's 50 states, so each state has its own way. So each state would have to look into how it runs it. So maybe some states don't have the thing Nick was talking about where you hit the minimum thing, and they just have a minimum wage, and then you earn whatever. And then some states have that. Again, it's going to fall to each state on to do it. I don't think the government has to come in and be like, this is required. I think it's a little bit too much overreach. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
But I think, again, yes, each state needs to look at it and say, all right, Again, this also goes back to one of the first topics we ever had is lowering the cost of living. I think would fix all of this. Would be being fiscally responsible. But in terms of it, I guess it comes down to had it been a Walmart employee, I would have told you I would not have tipped.
No, it's like you're an employee, you get paid, which I think is how that service should be run.
Yes, I did not know because that showed up at my house the other day. And I'm like, how did you get the groceries delivered? This wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
And I hate grocery shopping, by the way.
Yeah,
me too. And so I even hated doing the pickup because I still had to unload the car. I hate it.
That part I don't mind as long as I don't have to spend an hour and a half.
I hate the whole process. And that's when but I assumed it was because they had the same with the delivery people. Like you pull up, you call the number, it's Walmart people that load it in. So I assumed these were people they hired via Walmart.
Yeah.
And then they were, they give them a work car and they go out and deliver stuff. That's how it should be run.
What if you're going to charge me a yearly amount, I assume
especially for $100.
Yeah, $100 a year. Now, here's the
this I think is Walmart's fault because they're being cheap.
This is, and I was sitting there and I was debating with myself. Okay, and maybe the tipping culture thing isn't the worst concept. I don't know if I'm for it at all, but I remember when
it's a hard way to go yes or no, I guess.
Yeah.
It is a hard
And I was looking and I said, you know what? If you guys had just raised the price of the yearly service, I'd pay $120 a year for the deliveries. If I didn't have to tip.
Yep.
And it became this thing where I was just like, I mean, couldn't I just divide the tip into that much per year and then find out? And I could do that, yes. But I just don't know if I want to support the concept of this because I know they're taking advantage of drivers. With the introduction of DoorDash, Uber, and that kind of thing, okay, you have this influx of workers in different ways where they start fighting for these bids for the jobs, and it gets lower and lower to the floor. Okay, the more people fighting for each job, the lower the bid continues to drop. Okay, it's like, well, this person's willing to do it for $3. I'm not going to pay you more.
True, but that's good.
So I don't know if I could even support the system.
If it wasn't like a multi-billion-dollar company like Walmart, I would say that's good for. That's why rivalries in construction. It's good for the consumer.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
I'm not saying it's they drive each other down. As long it's the most efficient.
I actually started to feel scummy about even trying the service. Like I was just like, because I had looked it up and I had looked up different people who actually work for DoorDash or whatever. Okay, where they were saying they know the other end. They said I never take a Walmart job because I know it's $3 and no tip.
And I think yes, there are those Walmart people that are like that, but I think also the reason they're also not getting tipped is because I don't think they know this.
They don't. They said that was one of the big issues because then other people like myself chimed in and they said, "Well, from our end, from buying groceries, there was no box for a tip. They didn't let us know it was a third party."
Or it didn't say that. Yeah, exactly. If you don't let them know it's a third party, like I said, I just
think
assumed it's
that's
Walmart.
the important thing here. Okay, is that I am so okay with like all of this tipping stuff. It kind of makes sense with like the DoorDash and everything like that. It's like some of these things, they exist because this is a possibility.
It's extra cash.
And I think the tricky thing here is when larger corporations start utilizing this thing for small people to make small money. You know, and the factor is like Walmart. It's like, look, they made this subscription. They set up this thing. It's like you pay $100 a year, and we're not clear telling you. It's like, oh, we're actually hiring random people. We don't.
They're not
pay
hiring
them.
random people, technically.
And that optional tip is actually how the person gets paid.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, you put optional
scummy.
here.
That I will agree with that.
And that's what they said on the Walmart thing. Now, what it says now. Okay, this is by the time I had ever seen it.
Sure.
It says the tip goes 100% to the third party driver, and it's like, well, I thought you were paying them to deliver.
So you pay the guy $3. He's bringing you. Yeah, you pay him. Let's say you tip him $3 to $5. He's bringing $100 worth of groceries. That's a lot of stuff.
I heard the process of how this works. Okay, basically what they said is, okay, as a DoorDash person or whatever, Uber, whoever wants to just pick up the job. A lot of Uber drivers do it too. It's like, whatever, I'll do it delivery. Who cares?
Yeah.
Okay, where they see the job bid, they go for it. Okay, they drive up. The Walmart person throws the stuff into the car,
just like they would,
and then they deliver it.
Yeah, so
it's like, wait, I'm paying $99 for you to screw the driver to throw it into their car to bring it to my step.
Yeah.
And
if I drove up, I wouldn't pay $99.
Yeah, I don't have to pay anything, right?
And you did nothing different.
If you wanted to do
100%,
do an online order. Say you're going to pick it up. Hire an Uber and say, "Hey, could you go pick this up for me?"
That would be a better system, and that's what I didn't understand.
And then you're not paying $100 a year.
But
why am I paying them $100 a year?
But you'd have to figure out how much you pay the Uber driver.
They pay $3 for the delivery driver. It's like, all right, hold up.
Yeah. You know what the other catch is like,
if you're not ready for the system, it doesn't work.
Here's the other catch though, and this is just kind of a small subsection of it. Is like I remember when I first did the pickup. I think my mom had bought some alcohol or something.
Yeah.
They had to they thought I was a delivery person. I'm like, no, it's for my family because you legally I don't think can transport alcohol if it's not for you.
That's interesting.
Because
they can't verify.
Exactly.
It's interesting.
So certain things like that, I don't know how that would even work.
Yeah.
Which is I know it's kind of a moot point, but I just remember that specifically. So some of your order, you wouldn't be able to buy some of your stuff.
Drug trafficking.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, you could.
Imagine getting charged for that. Woo.
Unfortunately, you get those. Yeah, exactly. So there's some you get a weird Uber driver. You get there's so much other stuff that could go in and cause issues being a third party. Granted, it could be issues with a first party, but if you're charging $100, you need to hire an employee to do it.
Yeah. And I read a beautiful hot take. Okay, beautiful hot take. And I don't think I agree with this, but I just thought it was fascinating to read.
If it's on the Reddit, yeah, it's probably crazy.
Yeah, they said if your business can't afford to pay your employees an actual wage, maybe it shouldn't exist. And that applied to basically every restaurant, that works on tipping, $3 an hour nonsense. And I was thinking about that. I was like, I don't know if that's inherently wrong.
Let me throw this out here. Let me throw this out because this fits right in here. Okay.
Go ahead.
Most of the world doesn't do this tipping culture.
That's what
people get really confused when they come here, and then they're stiffing people on the tips. Or I know a lot about Japan. Okay, in Japan, it's like American tourists come over there. They get their meal or whatever, and then they throw a tip on the table, and then the people they look really confused, like, wait, this is too much, and they're like, no, that's for you, and they're like, they can't take that, and then they look at the owner, and they get
paid a wage,
and then you broke the social norms and everything because yes, they all get paid. It's like they're an employee. What are you talking about? They get paid. These restaurants and everything. The tipping culture doesn't have to exist. Okay, it's a culture here. Okay, and the factor is that the only reason restaurants still do this and they don't pay their people a wage or whatever.
Couldn't you pay a wage to a pizza delivery guy?
you could pay a wage. You absolutely could. And then what do you do with the tips? I guess he just gets a tip because they tipped him. Because he did a good job.
And we can just say without it, tips,
True, but you're going to also have to, it's going to increase the price of food because that's just what they do.
And that's the big question, okay? Would I be willing to pay more for the stuff if it didn't involve the tip and they got paid a wage?
A great idea.
Depends on the difference.
Great idea. The establishment that these people who work off tips work at need to get a minimum by the end of their paycheck, a minimum wage total. And if their tips don't add up, you pay the difference.
I actually like that a lot.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes,
absolutely. I love that. Wow.
Okay, you want to get away with this nonsense? You pay when it's under. When it's under the line, you're paying someone $3 an hour. Now you get the rest in tips, and it doesn't go over minimum wage. You pay the
problem.
They have to file their own taxes and everything because they're supposed to anyway with tips.
They're supposed to,
which they probably don't.
No, because I get what you're saying, Nick, and
I like that a lot.
The problem is that causes a whole issue with taxes.
Good. Good. No, sort it out and get it done. All the other countries don't wait this nonsense.
Because then it's on the person who has to decide, okay,
if you're a contractor, you pay your own taxes anyway.
No, you gotta pay your taxes if you make over a certain amount a year.
You're saying, let's say 1 month you make over, so they don't have to pay it. The next month you don't. So now you have to figure out on your taxes when they paid it and when you don't. So that's on you.
Here's what I want.
They should be able to. Wait. The business should send you out. No, they should send you out an invoice which shows how much they paid in tax.
Yeah, but that makes it more hard work on you when tax time comes because you have to say, all right, well these 7 months.
That is the job. Though.
Well, these 7 months I was over, so I technically didn't.
Wait. They already do that. Because most of these places are paid a minimum wage of like $3, so they are.
I'm talking about what he's saying is where like if you don't meet the wage.
That is an audit. They can automate that system. The problem is though the driver would need to report their actual tip.
They sure would. And this is why we can't run off of a tip-based culture.
No, because then you can just lie and say I didn't make the tip.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Which is why you shouldn't be doing that and just give them away.
But then that's on the person. That's on the person.
That's why the tipping thing needs to end in general.
Yeah.
Well, then again, it comes down to the ultimate question is you need to make it. You can't just. This is all about minimum wage again. Yeah. You just can't say, well, I'm going to give you $15 an hour because guess what? I can just raise the freaking prices. You're not making a livable wage. You can increase the price all you want till it's $20, $30, $40. It doesn't matter because now I'm paying $100 for milk.
But wait. But that's the thing, okay? You look at these businesses.
The problem is, don't bring up Canada at all.
I made a mistake bringing up Canada. I should have said somewhere in the EU.
The problem is, the EU is a whole mess on itself. The problem is everyone just assumes that by raising the minimum wage, it solves all the problems.
Yeah, not in that.
But everyone assumes that.
They don't think. Minimum wage.
I'm not saying raise minimum wage. I'm saying everyone should at least get the minimum wage.
Amount, yeah.
Get rid of
whatever the certain.
Then you can't have tips.
The entire,
then you can't have tips.
The entire
all right, wait.
Ban all tips.
The entire U.S. is based on our current set minimum wage, other than the
tipping
people.
So then Uber dies, delivery.
And the
I'm just letting you know, if you ban all tips, everything dies. All the delivery dies.
No.
Yes, if you're banning tips, you can't minimum wage or tips.
Hey,
you don't get both.
Slow down, people.
You don't get both. You get one.
I've got 2 things to say.
Look, when you take an Uber or whatever, that's self-elected. When you go to a restaurant,
you want to pay the minimum wage though.
Wait,
I want them to be paid the minimum wage.
Then I
don't want to have to be paid them more.
Because Uber cannot function if you're paying them minimum wage.
The
business goes under.
I'm not talking about Uber. I'm talking about restaurants, not Uber.
I've got 2 examples to kill it all.
Again, it depends on the state too. Some states do pay a minimum wage, and the tips are extra.
All right, I got 2 examples here. 2 examples, okay? Number 1, restaurants exist outside of the United States, and they function paying their employees. That is a fact. Number 2, taxis existed before Uber.
So does McDonald's doesn't have anything to do with that though.
I say McDonald's.
Okay, but
I'm saying taxis. Whether Uber started existing more in recent times. Taxis existed prior to this. They always have, and they function. Just because we now have a tipping-based culture instead...
We've always had a tipping-based culture for decades.
I know, and it's causing trouble, which is why this conversation's here.
But my point is, restaurants can function. They might not be able to be as sizable as they are, but they can function. Now, yes, if
do they have Applebee's in Europe? Do they have Outback Steakhouse in Europe?
Who cares?
If it doesn't,
they have equivalents.
That's fine.
That's equivalent, but that's completely not the same.
Over there.
I don't care about their restaurants.
Here, look.
I don't care about our restaurants.
When a foreign tourist comes to America, they pay for their meal and then they don't pay the tip because they assume we pay our people.
You don't know that. Do you know for a fact every country in the European Union does not have a tip?
No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that countries function without it, and I think we could function without
some countries.
That's not the point. The point is, can a restaurant exist paying its employees?
Yes.
Without tips?
With a wage. Yes, without tips.
It would increase the price of the foods.
Yes, it would. Now, it is possible. Now, I'm not saying that increase in the price of food is...
We ain't paying tips to McDonald's.
Right. That's true, too.
We got some cheap prices, just saying.
Yeah, but it's different. You're dining in on a restaurant. It depends. If you're willing to say, all right, I'm going to pay X amount of dollars more for my food, then rather than tip this person X amount of dollars, then yes.
And that's the thing.
It depends on the change of dollar bill, the amount.
People do go.
I'm not going to pay $10 more when I can tip the person $5. I'm being honest.
It won't be $10.
We don't know that.
We don't know that. But the question is, but here's the thing. That is a fact. Okay, many places around the world. Okay, most don't do the tipping thing, and they have restaurants. People run family restaurants and that kind of thing. Like I said, maybe the problem is that some of these companies are so sizable they could not exist paying their employees an actual wage like that, which is why they rely upon tips. My point is that maybe some of these companies couldn't exist. Just like that goofy Reddit comment, if you can't afford to pay your employees, maybe your business shouldn't exist. I don't know if that's inherently wrong because, yeah, maybe the restaurant isn't a chain of things. We do have things like fast food restaurants, and no, I'm not going to sit here and say that the restaurant food is amazing.
What I said when we first, I think before we went on live, is it goes back to the statement Black Friday. The guest claims that you exist because I exist, but at the same time, the company exists because the guest exists.
Sure.
Yes.
It's that weird symbiotic relationship.
So do we want this relationship with tipping in America?
I think tipping culture is a bit of a parasitic relationship that does coexist, but I believe it is parasitic.
Coexist and things exist because of it.
You ask a bartender, though, they
but
might
overall,
disagree.
is it better?
That's true. And in certain areas, it's not so bad. But there are restaurants where they take a portion of the tip. Yeah. And this is particularly bad with smaller restaurants, okay, where they can, family-owned restaurants, they can kind of get away with that kind of thing.
Again, the problem goes, is you have to go state-by-state basis. So some states probably do it very well, and I guarantee there's those states that do it god-awful. And it's one of those that, unfortunately, that's what makeup is. It's not,
I think vaguely...
The problem is we're unique in terms of that there's 50 that make one, whereas... for example, in Uruguay and Mondi, there's just one. That's it.
Yeah, most countries aren't nearly as big as the United States, too, so it's not quite the same issue to tackle, especially how we have different freedoms and that kind of thing compared to other countries might have more.
And that's I think, also how some of these cultures developed, in, like he was saying, in terms of tipping, how it's like, look at Japan and look at us. Two radically different things. Yep. So that's that's another issue.
I feel
okay.
Generally,
all right.
We can go to any other country.
I think generally,
all of them have a parliamentary general system. It's 50 states that make one, not one state in like France. France is one government.
Okay, I'm leaning towards. I don't like the concept of tipping culture in general, and I honestly don't mind seeing it go. I understand that many people can kind of get a mild livable wage with this, but at the same time, I worry that company abuse kind of outweighs that. Yeah. But who am I to say?
Look, Walmart adding a $100 subscription, free delivery.
We can all agree
Walmart's
like tip the thing. Yeah, Walmart.
It's scummy to call it free deliveries, and then just people will get messed out of their tip after that.
All right, guys. Comments from the community on tipping culture. This one is from AG. He says, I do think tipping culture is a terrible thing. It makes the customer have to tip because the employers neglect to pay them a minimum wage or offer a wage to live on. I think employees should be paid by their employers, not the customers who have the pressure to have to pay this waiter or waitress because they might not
want to.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Next comment. The next comment was from the anonymous commenter, where they said, "Why do people want these jobs? Do you think less of people who dine in due to the COVID push of staying home?
Do you think less people will be dining in due to COVID push of staying home, and the waiters and waitresses will be less needed?" Actually, real quick on this one, the Steak and Shake down by my house, I love Steak and Shake, is all automated now. They have no more waiter or waitresses come. They just go up and grab the counter. I absolutely hate it.
That sounds awesome.
Why do people need these jobs? Because, again, they're entry-level jobs for usually teenagers or people starting off on their foot. It is what it is. So
look, not to be crazy. I just
Can I
add to that particular comment.
Sure, go ahead.
Not to be completely crazy, but the fact that, like, with my past topic on the show, I think it was the first episode or second. I can't remember.
The first, probably.
The second one, I think. Anyway, where I talked... Yeah, it was the first one.
Yeah.
Anyway, where I talked about how we are in a worker's market right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't have to get those jobs.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, you can go work retail and you don't have to work a tipping job right now because everyone is hiring. It would be interesting to see this kind of job die off.
Yeah. Then you have no restaurants.
No, you still have restaurants.
That's how the
get this. The restaurants would have to
place.
compete. They have to compete if they want to stay relevant, which means they have to pay someone if no one else
Workers'
can come in and
market.
get paid for
It's
it.
the same thing with schools then. What's another topic I'll bring up another time?
Okay.
I just thought of that.
Guys, thank you guys so much for joining us today. This has been the third episode of the Potential Apes podcast. I don't know if Nick has an outro or anything like that.
No.
But it's been awesome sauce. I really, really do love this show. It's so
We
much
are,
fun.
despite what you may see, we are all very good friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've never really touched on a lot of this stuff.
We love debating, discussing.
I'm extremely,
conversation.
we're all extremely opinionated.
And I've got a bunch of topics. I know how
This
to
man
hit
has,
Mike perfectly.
He knows.
I'm terrible
yeah,
at devil's advocate. Just
yeah.
saying. Oh boy, I can't help it.
We're not talking about your evil genius or evil overlord.
Just leave it on.
Always
Just
on.
leave it
I'm gonna break the button.
More sunlight.
Everybody talks about
Not
turning
the
it off. This man over here.
Yeah, it's not the
Yeah,
Sunset Coast. It's the Sunset America.
I'm turning it off. I'm leaving it off.
My goodness. Anyway, guys, this upcoming Thursday, I have a very exciting announcement to bring to the show. I will let you guys know on Thursday.
Someone will have to let me know because he'll forget to tell me.
I'm very excited about it, but I do want to obviously thank you guys for your continued support, whether it be
Jesse
just
and
listening,
Mandu, Pack, AG Star,
including obviously you guys, who are also able to donate to the stream too. We do use those funds for the stream itself, nothing personal or anything like that.
You're going to see the results.
You'll see the results, and I hope to continue to produce even more content for you guys. I hope you guys continue to enjoy it.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, guys.
Thank you, guys. Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks for being here, Mike.
Thank you. Yes, my 3.5 hours of sleep. It was worth it. My blood's boiling. Got the adrenaline pumping.